What do you write about? Is it always personal, or do you sometimes find yourself writing something that is completely different?
A lot of it is personal, sometimes directly or indirectly, because I guess most of the time it's some sort of experience that I've been exposed to, whether it's something that happened to me or a friend, which they really hate. Like, they always know when I'm writing about them. They always go like, I hate you. Like, I know you're talking about me. And I'm like, you know, you inspired me. I'm sorry.
Your life's amazing.
Yeah, like, I love your life. It's great. You know, like, I love that this bad thing happened to you. It helped me out. And they're like, you're so awful. But yeah, I write. You know, I tend to write about, I guess, everything. I'm inspired by everything. By, you know, I mean, different. Like, some of the themes I write about come from the perspective of the fact that, you know, I'm a girl, so some of my songs are very empowering for females. I love writing songs about that, songs that uplift people, give them hope, just make them feel better about life or themselves. And then, of course, naturally, being a girl, most of us are pretty emo, and I'm really emo. So you know, I write about love a lot, stuff like that. And then I do have songs that are just quite really sexy and just fun and playful. Like there's a song on the album called Licky, and you can YouTube it or go on Bebo and see the video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All I'll say is that when my mom found out that I have a song called Licky, she calls me from Barbados like, yeah, so I just saw online, because I didn't even tell her. I just saw online on your fan site that you have a song called Licky. What is that song about? And I was like, oh, it's about food, obviously, Mom. And I am sticking to that. It's about food. I'm singing about Twinkies and chocolate and vanilla. And
food you like.
It's about food. If you ask me again, I'll keep telling you. It's about food.
I believe you.
Yeah.
So you've been touring, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you have any anecdotes from your live shows, or any favorite concerts you've had?
Oh my gosh. I just think the best time, you know, I've had on tour was really with Beyonce. I mean, I guess naturally, because, you know, I'm a girl too, and so, you know, you tend to look up to, you know, other female artists, and she's just a living legend. And so being on tour with her was like life-changing, literally. I mean, this woman, like, she's just epic, and just such a sweet girl. I mean, I didn't expect any of that to happen, but she just really took the time to actually spend time with me and talk with me and motivate me and inspire me and all these. I mean, she was just amazing. You know, she would tell her fans when she comes on, and she would tell them, encourage them, give it up for Shontelle. Like, she showed the love, and I was just like, wow, like, you're so amazing. Like, what a class act she is. And so I think that that's just been one of the best, you know, things that has happened to me so far, you know, just being on the road and stuff like that. And yeah, I definitely picked up a lot of tips from the diva, you know, the queen bee. I really, I thought that I was like, I'm not gonna lie, you know, I thought it was popping. I thought I was it, you know, until I was on tour with Beyonce, and I was like, oh, that's how you do it. I was like, I was so not ready, but yeah, I'm like, okay, being on tour with Beyonce was like boot camp.
Really?
Yeah, literally.
So I take it you've learned a few tips?
I did. I took a few tips from the
Do you have a top three?
Huh?
Do you have a top three?
You know what I've learned from her? That it's her discipline is so important. That was like probably the most important lesson that I learned, because some artists, once they get to a certain point, certain things they tend to slack off on. Like, they don't do sound checks anymore, they don't rehearse anymore. Beyonce is so disciplined. I mean, she doesn't skip sound checks and rehearse. I mean, every day of that tour, I saw that woman on the grind. I mean, and that was one important lesson. Another one is respect. I mean, she is so respectful to everyone. Her crew, I've never seen her wild out on anyone, like raise her voice, freak out. She's always so pleasant with everyone, treats everyone so nice and so well. And I just feel like if you treat people well, you know, they'll bend over backwards for you, or they'll do the best job. They'll want to do a good job, and so you'll have a great team. And you can't do it by yourself. You need a team, and you need a team that wants to work for you and wants to see you do well. And when you treat people well, they really wish the best for you, and they do whatever they can. And so that was another really important lesson I learned, like just humility. You know, never really think that you're above anyone. You know, she is the queen, but she doesn't act like it, you know what I mean? And then I guess if I had to think of a third, it's more like more from the artist's performance perspective. I definitely picked up a lot of tips. She's like perfect on stage. I mean, her show is like the best concert I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just vocally, she's incredible. She really knows how to touch her fans, she's such a perfectionist, and you know, I really think I learned a lot about her delivery, her presence on stage, like she's just amazing. And so I was stealing some tips. I was like, I had my little notebook, and I was like, okay, I see how you do that. So I definitely picked up, you know, some key tips from the queen. Like, so definitely it was, I mean, I told her, I was like, thank you so much for having me on tour with you, because you changed my life, literally. I mean, I saw life in a whole different way from that tour. It's really hard to explain, but I mean, it definitely did change my life.
It looks like it. So when are we gonna see you tour the UK again?
Well, I mean, as far as a tour, I'm not really sure yet, but I'll be definitely back in November, you know, around the time I'm going to release my album and whatnot. Right now, we're really, actually, literally in the process of trying to, you know, schedule all my touring and all that, so I guess, well, yeah, stay tuned for that, but I'll be back in town, you know, for around album release time. Sure.
So for the last question, what's the plan for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, I guess, yeah, I mean, it's going to be definitely a lot of focus on pushing the album as far as it can go, you know. I'm looking forward to some Grammy nominations and all the other awards. But, yeah, my focus is just really good. You know, I really think that my album has the potential to be very successful. I think it's a really great album, so I'm just going to be putting all my energy into making it go, you know, trying to get as many singles off that album as I possibly can, and just doing as many shows, as many performances as I can, and there probably will be sort of like a mini tour, and I've already, you know, started booking all the Christmas shows and whatnot, so I think the rest of my year is pretty much all filled and packed in already, so yeah.